The Life and Legacy of Oren Lyons by Parker Stiles. Times change, but principles don't. Times change, but lands do not. Times change, but our culture and our language remain the same. And that's what you have to keep intact. It's not what you wear, it's what's in your heart. This is a quote by Oren Lyons that shows his enthusiasm for continuing to carry on his cultural beliefs on the importance of maintaining the environment and his passion for the game of lacrosse. Not only was Oren Lyons renowned for his accomplishments on the lacrosse field, he was also an advocate for the rights of indigenous peoples of the world. Oren Lyons was born in 1930 and raised in the traditional lifeways of the Iroquois Nation on the Onondaga Reservation in northern New York. Prior to attending college, Oren Lyons served in the U.S. Army. He then attended Syracuse University to play lacrosse and to obtain a degree in fine arts. In the years following, he continued his lacrosse career at the professional level. Lyons then moved to New York City to pursue a career in commercial art. He worked as the planning director of Norcross greeting cards. In addition to this, Oren exhibited his own paintings that are known for reflecting his traditions and values as a member of the Turtle Clan. Oren Lyons later became a professor of American Studies at the University of Buffalo in the College of Arts and Sciences, where he was also the director of the Native American Studies program. Eventually, Dr. Lyons decided to return to Onondaga to take up his responsibilities as faith keeper and chief of the Turtle Clan of the Onondaga Nation. Lacrosse is very important to Oren Lyons. His grandfather played, and his father was a talented goalkeeper just like himself. In the Native American culture, lacrosse is known as the creator's game. He mentions in one interview that many great leaders, such as Tecumseh and Osceola, were very good lacrosse players. Lacrosse is a community-wide attraction and everyone is involved. Lacrosse is viewed as a ceremony or a ritual, and it is more than just a game. Oren Lyons was an All-American at Syracuse University. Lyons was a goalkeeper for the lacrosse team while he studied at the university. He played alongside the legendary NFL running back Jim Brown. The season of Oren's graduating year in 1958, the two led the Syracuse Orange to an undefeated national championship season. This is the same year that Lyons was awarded with All-American honors. Once Lyons graduated, he continued his career for about 13 years, playing for the New York Lacrosse Club, New Jersey Lacrosse Club, and the Onondaga Athletic Club. In 1983, Lyons co-founded the Iroquois National Lacrosse Team, and he is still the current chairman on the board of directors. The Iroquois Nationals traveled to Australia for the World Championship of Lacrosse in 1990, and for the first time in over 100 years, they carried their own flag and performed their own anthem in an international competition. Lyons was named Man of the Year in Lacrosse by the NCAA in 1989. Oren was later inducted into the NCAA's National Lacrosse Hall of Fame.
Lacrosse and Iroquois is synonymous with life, I think, or it's synonymous with continuation community. Everybody's involved. Children's involved. Parents are involved. Our greatest fans, the greatest lacrosse fans are the women. Women love the game. And it's more than a game, has been.
Oren Lyons is indeed known for his contributions to the sport of lacrosse. However, he is also highly recognized as an activist for indigenous rights and environmental justice. Oren joined the Red Power movement in the 1960s, which was a group of Native American activists who wanted to raise awareness for indigenous rights. Chief Lyons is a principal figure in the traditional circle of Indian elders, which he helped create in 1977. The traditional circle of elders still meets today. Also, in 1977, he was a part of the first delegation to the World Conference on Racism. Lyons once stated, "At first, I wanted to defend the Iroquois. Then my sights broadened to embrace other Indians. Then I saw this had to include defending indigenous peoples all over the world." Chief Lyons made it his mission to protect the indigenous communities around the world. In 1981, he traveled to New Zealand, where he spoke and shared his experiences with other indigenous people. The years following, he started attending the Indigenous Peoples of Human Rights Commission of the United Nations meetings in Geneva. Through the hard work of many people, including Oren Lyons, the indigenous people had a voice that was being heard. The year 1993 was deemed the International Year of the World's Indigenous People. Oren Lyons addressed the General Assembly of the United Nations in New York City on December 10, 1992. In remarks to the UN General Assembly, Oren highlighted the indigenous people's struggle in an era of unrestrained growth. In the speech, he addressed key areas for improvement: the degradation of the environment, U.S. and Canadian treaty violations, and the misuse of native spiritual sites. Oren essentially stresses to the UN that it was time to respect the origins of indigenous communities around the world and to allow their practices because it is their right as human beings. This speech is one of the most notorious events to take place in Chief Oren Lyons' life. Chief Oren Lyons is a world-renowned leader for peace, justice, and sovereignty. His loyalty and commitment to the Turtle Clan of Onondaga Nation was a driving force behind a man who is a very talented lacrosse player, artist, and indigenous icon. The impact that Oren Lyons has had in this world is a direct result of the dedication and passion of a true, honorable man.